Viacom Media Networks is a division of media conglomerate Viacom that oversees the operations of many television channels and Internet brands, including the original MTV channel in the United States. Sibling to Viacom Media Networks is Viacom International Media Networks. The company was established in 1984 after Warner Communications and American Express decided to divest the basic cable assets of Warner-Amex Satellite Entertainment, renaming it MTV Networks, Incorporated. Warner-Amex originally created and owned Nickelodeon, MTV, VH1 and the Movie Channel. Viacom acquired 66% of the company in 1985, and then acquired the remaining interest in 1986. It was then folded into Viacom International Incorporated, a subsidiary of Viacom Incorporated, and is no longer a distinct legal entity. Cable channels owned by Viacom Media Networks. Viacom Media Networks' family of brands is divided into three sections, based on the type of television programming and audiences they serve. Music and Entertainment Group MTV1, MTV2, MTV Hits, MTVU, MTV Tours. VH1, VH1 Classic, VH1 Soul. CMT2, CMT Pure Country 3. Logo TV 4, Palladia, Comedy Central 7, Spike 28, TV Land, Epix 9. Kids and Family Group Nickelodeon 111 Nick 2, Nickelodeon's alternate East-West feed, Nick HD, Nickelodeon's High Definition feed, Nick at Night, evening programming block on Nickelodeon. Nick Jr. 5 Nick Jr. HD, Nick Jr.'s High Definition feed, Nick Mum, nighttime programming block on Nick Jr. Teen Nick 6, Nicktoons 10 Nicktoons HD, Nicktoons High Definition feed. Bet Networks Bet, Bet Gospel, Bet Jams, Bet Hip Hop. Centric. Former channels MTVX, Nick Gas, Tempo Networks, VH1 Uno. Notes one channel created by Warner-Amex Satellite Entertainment prior to 1984.2 channel originally owned by CBS, became part of MTV Networks when CBS merged with Viacom. 3 created as VH1 Country prior to Viacom-CBS merger. 4 channel was originally known as VH1 Mega Hits before being discontinued in July 2005 to facilitate logo launch. 5 channel was originally known as Noggin before being rebranded as Nick Jr. in 2009. Co-owned with Sesame Workshop from 1999 to 2002. Channel was originally known as The N before being rebranded as Teen Nick in 2009. 7 Channel started as HA. Merged with HBO's The Comedy Channel the following year, became fully owned by Viacom in 2003. 8 Channel originally known as the Nashville Network until 2000 and the National Network until 2003. September co-owned with sister company Paramount, Lionsgate and MGM. Viacom Media Networks handles operations. 10 Channel was originally known as Nicktoons TV until 2003 when it was rebranded as Nicktoons, which was rebranded again as Nicktoons Network in 2005 and finally rebranded yet again as Nicktoons once more in 2009. 11 Channel was originally known Pin Heel until 1979 when it was rebranded as Nickelodeon. Internet properties. The company also owns internet properties, such as Atom Films, Addicting Games, MTV News, MTV International, Rhapsody, LyricsMode.com, iFilm, Go City Kids, Jokes.com, Game Trailers, XFIRE, 365gay.com, Shockwave.com, and Queerzilla. MTV Networks has also made a partnership with Nexon to promote its Neopet service. The company ran a virtual world system, Virtual MTV, in the late 2000s. Game properties. Viacom had a game division called MTV Games, which used to publish the Rock Band and Dance Central series by Harmonix Music Systems, its former subsidiary. Dance Central was the last game from MTV Games before its closure, but will be resurrected in 2012 and will not publish the Rock Band and Dance Central series, as it will focus on other games, starting with The Age of Decadence by Iron Tower Studio. MTV Networks opened another game division called 345 Games in New York City and it will start to publish future games. The Rock Band series and the Dance Central series will be published by Warner Bros. Games. The first game published by 345 Games was Ugly Americans, Apocalypse based on the Comedy Central TV series, Ugly Americans. Recently, 345 Games has announced a video game based on the popular MMA franchise, Bellator Fighting Championships. Viacom International Media Networks. Viacom International Media Networks is a division of Viacom International. Its headquarters are based in New York, London, Warsaw and Buenos Aires. It consists of 64 localized MTV channels, MTV Live HD, VH1, Nickelodeon, TMF, Viva, Comedy Central, Game One, Neopets, Game Trailers, Nitro Limited, Shockwave, Addicting Games, Atom Films and XFIRE. MTV Networks brands are seen globally in 560 million households in 162 countries and 33 languages via more than 150 locally programmed and operated TV channels and more than 350 digital media properties. The Viacom International Media Networks network consists of Viacom International Media Networks Europe, Viacom International Media Networks UK, Ireland, Viacom International Media Networks Northern Europe, Viacom International Media Networks Southern Europe, Viacom International Media Networks Asia, Viacom International Media Networks The Americas. Viacom Media Networks rating issues. In fall 2012, media analysts began to report that ratings amongst some of MTV Network's leading brands in the US including MTV, Comedy Central and Nickelodeon are experiencing falls in viewership unlike other US broadcasters. It has been reported that MTV Network's portfolio of channels, 14 of the 16 channels in the MTV and Nickelodeon families had viewership declines in September, according to Sanford C. Bernstein analyst Todd G. Unger, citing Nielsen data. MTV, Comedy Central and Nickelodeon are of most concern to investors. The three account for roughly 50% of Viacom's operating profit, estimates David Bank of RBC Capital Markets. See also, List of MTV channels, Viacom International Media Networks Europe, Viacom International Media Networks Latin America, Viacom International Media Networks Africa, MTV Networks Asia Pacific. References. External links, Viacom Brands webpage, Viacom Media Networks affiliate B2B website, http, www.deadlinehollywoodaily.com, http, www.laweckleycombnews.